for Mozart, and he can get into royal family to become a musician because his dad have a relation with the royal family. A group of genius chess players. When you blindfold them, they can play blindfold chess with 100 people in the same time. The genius chess player memory are not even as good as normal people. Or you see so many people talking their whole life. How many communication master you see in your real life? There's only one type of practice can make you become a genius. Today's video, we are talking about genius. Okay? It's really funny because the last video we were talking about stupidity, and today we're going to talk about the another end, genius. People will say how genius is not exist because lots of people naturally good at math, naturally good at programmer, they can hack into, FBI when they was 12, or people naturally good at sports. They're just genetic, you can tell. But while I reading the book, really interesting story get my attention. It basically the story talk about a group of genius chess player, right? When you blindfold them, they can play blindfold chess with 100 people in the same time. For example, table 47, pawn d5. Then he will say, okay, pawn d4. Table 33, horse e5, something like that. And he will give response immediately. He can play with 100 people in the same time. Like, in the beginning, for me, when I read that, how can this not be genius? How can he not a genius? But after all, the scientists put a blindfold chess player and average people to test their memory. They put random pieces on the board to see how they memory which pieces are where. And it turned out shockingly that the genius chess player memory are not even as good as normal people, or they're about the same, but slow below average. But if it's not because they're genetic good at memory, what make them can blindfold to play with 100 people? And that's the topic we try to dive in. When genius are not genetic, how can we become genius? And today's book reference is Pig Secrets from New Science of Excerpt. And this book is a highly academia book. It is not those motivational bestseller book. It's specific, use a scientific way to teach you how to become a genius. And in the first section of the book basically tried to tear apart all the genius story. If you think about genius, what will pop on your mind? For example, Mozart. In the book, it studied about background of Mozart. People say he's genius. He can play violin at 4 years old. He can make his own music, make his own violin music at 6. He become a royal family professional musician when he was 10, 12 years old. How can this not become a genius? But in fact, is the author, after checking all the books, found out that Mozart's dad a famous musician, and he want to raise his kids into musician, this field. And Mozart's dad, by teaching all Mozart's older siblings, he gained lots of technique and teaching skills for little kids to learn music. And Mozart is the youngest kid, so he fully focused on help Mozart to become a musician. And so he teach him since it was his tooth. That's the reason why he's by 4 years old, he's so good at violin. And even the first music he made for Mozart is his dad helped him 75% of the whole music. And he can get into royal family to become a musician because his dad have a relation with the royal family. Or even more, people say, Mozart have a perfect pitch. What is a perfect pitch? It's basically a piano, right? You press any key, Mozart know which key it is. However, the funny thing is, first, Berklee College of Music, all the students there have a perfect pitch, in fact. And even more, this book author even gather lots of middle school students and try to practice their perfect pitch. After a couple weeks, 100 hours practice, over 75% random select kids have a perfect pitch. But after all this background knowledge about Mozart, you will feel, what? Oh, that genius didn't sound that miraculous, didn't sound that dramatic. And let's look at another famous musician, Paganini. Paganini is really famous by playing violin, and one of the instinct make him famous is one performance, he was playing violin, and suddenly, one of the string broke. So you have to play with the 3. And then suddenly, another broke. So you have to play with the 2 string. And in the end, expectedly, another string broke. So he just finished all the music by 1 string of the violin. And why people think that's a genius move? Because violin is different than guitar. You have a specific place to press. For violin, it's more like you put all 4 strings together and control by yourself. He even know how to play the whole music by 1 string. How hard is that? But after the author background check for Paganini, it is not that impressive, because when he was young, he used to like this girl. He wanted to make a music. So he broke 2 of the string by himself to practice with 2 string. It's like 1 high pitch and 1 low pitch. It's more like a conversation between a man and a woman, In the beginning, Paganini are not good at it either, It's like 1 high, 1 low. It sounds like a donkey, I'm sure even you start with this, it still be the same. But because he played with this, because he liked the girl so much, so he practiced with the 2 string a lot. That's the reason why he can successfully do it in the performance. Play with the 2 string. And after he can fully control, play violin with the 2 string, he practiced with 1, because he's like, what if I can do with 1? And in that performance, he break the string by himself into 1 to show off his skill of violin. And from both of Mozart and Paganini, we'll see somehow practice can make people become a genius, or even most of the time practice can make you become a genius. After the stories, you probably so get out, you know what, I'm gonna go working so hard on practice and I will become a genius. But this book, the biggest difference, the book we're talking about and lots of book author is, this is an academia book. And in this book, author said that there is only 1 type of practice can make you become a genius. All others are not gonna help you. And I completely agree with it. You probably heard about the 10,000 hour rule, which is, you work 10,000 hours to practice this certain skill, you become a master of this field. And this has come from an author, last name called Gladwell. He's bestseller writer, but our book author, The Peak, this book's author, said he completely disagreed with this idea. Because, first of all, lots of fields don't need 10,000 hours. For a great violin player, national level violin player, they only need 7,000 hours. Or even if you want to good at violin on district level, you can only play 5,000 hours to become a great violin player. Second part is this 10,000 hour rule are not working is, sometimes there's no, like we see in the before, there's only 1 type of practice can make you become a genius. Other practice are not working. For example, there's security guard in the schools, primary school or middle school or high school. After 10,000 hours become security guard, they're not gonna become one of the best security guard in the field. They can go to White House and protect or become a Navy SEAL. That's impossible. Or you see so many people talking their whole life. The hour they talk, definitely over 10,000 hours. How many communication master you see in your real life? Most people speak over 10,000 hours. So I think that's the biggest difference than the academia book and the bestseller book. Bestseller book just has to come up with some concept, make everybody easy to understand. Sometimes it's not practical, it's not profound. But academia book are teaching you step by step and specifically tell you how to become a genius. And I'm sure that's what everybody want to learn and want to see, right? So what is the practice we need to do? In the book, it shows that the specific practice we need to do to become a genius called deliberate practice. To test out deliberate practice, the author conduct lots of experiments. For example, they get this college student named Steven. What's the job of Steven is he coming to university every week for 2 hours on the weekend. What his job is, have to memorize numbers. For example, right now I say, okay, 5, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 9, 5. Like I speak a series of numbers, how many can you remember, right? And Stephen Sharp's memory as much number as he could. For average person, we think, if a person can memory a phone number, it's like 10 digits. That's pretty good memory. And for Stephen too, Stephen in the beginning can only remember 6 or 7 number people speak in the beginning stage. And he even have a really hard time. He's stuck on 8 digit. Right? He only can remember 8 digit. After that, he couldn't remember more. But the author using the deliberate practice, every week his goal is add one more digit, add one more digit. After 50 each week, it's like 100-hour practice. Guess how many a series of number Stephen can remember? 82 number. He can remember, like I say, 5, 7, 8, 9, 10, 8, 8, 5, 8, 7. 82 of them. Stephen can remember it. And there is a competition for it for the worldwide. For an average young teenager who participate in that competition can remember 300 number people constantly speak. And this is not hard because you only take people 2.5 hours every week is 2 hours to practice that. Before we think about, a person can remember 300 digits, you just see random number for 300 digits, they can remember, it's genius. But now you look, after maybe 1.5, 2 year practice, you can do it also. Or even at home, if they renounce quarantine, you even can practice yourself, can see after week and week how many digits you can remember. And this is our mentally and intelligent part. How about the physical part? Physical of humans are improved also. In 1908, there is one of the biggest record for marathon runner. Is he get the time under 3 hours. Marathon is like 21 miles, 42 kilometers, under 3 hours. That's a world record in 1908. However, after 100 years, what's the shocking me is why I read about book about Boston Marathon. If you even want to participate to Boston Marathon, if you're a male who aged between 18 to 30, you need to run under 3 hours already. Otherwise, you're not going to be qualified. 100 years ago, world record. 100 years later, if you don't know the old world record, you cannot even participate. You're not even qualified. People's ability are become better and better and better after a good practice. And if you still think the people who can the world record of marathon runner are genius, this is the biggest proof. Because after good practice, that's the entry level even. Or even the experiment we explained earlier, the perfect pitch, everything is doable by practice. How people can improve so much on mentally, physically, intelligent level, or even music level, is because our brain has this special adaptiveness. Your brain grow after you practice. So talk about brain adaptness. Basically, your brain can adapt the situation you're in and grow to help you to become a better on the challenge you have in life. And that will make your brain size even grow bigger. People talk about Einstein. Einstein have a bigger brain, and that's true. That's not even a lie. There's a best example to prove that in the book, and I was so fascinated by the example. Do you guys know what is the hardest driver? What's the hardest driver job out there? It is not those drivers who drive a big truck, from they have to drive 12 hours from Canada to America all the way. The hardest driver job is London taxi driver. Why taxi driver is so hard in London? It's because London is the whole city. Some road even is a triangle. It's not like New York or Beijing. West 15th Street is all a circle and square. It's really easy to understand where to go, or you can use a GPS. In London, you cannot even use a GPS to guide you where to go. So for them, you have to memory all the road numbers, shops by brain. An average London driver, they need to practice for 5 months or even half year to pass the test. And what the author do is, he goes study, he find the London driver, he go look for London driver, the part of brain that control memories, learning abilities, and compare the sizes of taxi drivers, the learning area to like normal people, or even bus driver. The bus driver, they just drive a certain area. In the end, the taxi drivers, the parts that responds to long-term memories and study ability, which called hippocampus, is way bigger or twice as bigger than normal people and bus driver. I feel wow. Like I really suggest the people who out there, like the younger audience who just hit puberty or didn't even hit puberty, learn as much as you can, because that will make your brain grow, that make you become way smarter. Or even the people who after puberty, you're 20, 30, 40. The London driver average age is 35, 40, 50. 50 years old people, brain can still grow. Why can't we? As long as you practice, they even make your brain, your physical condition become different. Make your IQ higher. We talk about the benefits of deliberate practice. What is deliberate practice? The deliberate practice are 4 steps. First step is you need to set a goal. For example, in the Steven, you have memory number. My next week's memory 1 more digit. Or for the taxi driver, my goal is pass that test, right? And that's really easy. Everybody, who want to do something to practice, they will have a goal. And the second one is most important, called focus. Right? What is a focus? You guys probably heard about Franklin, the man who won the $100 bill in America in dollar. He is he's a master on science, writing, and one of his stories, he get the lightning of a cat and get electronic to the earth. That's what he do. He's a really smart guy. But one of the things make him so annoying is he could not become the master of chess. He just, every time friend come over and say, oh, come here, let's play chess. But why can't he? Because every time he don't trade when he play chess as a professional practice. And he didn't try to find a coach to play with him or somebody better than him. He treats it as a hobby. It's just for having fun, have some alcohol on the side, having fun to play chess. And he's not focused enough to learn and to practice. That's why he will never, he definitely play over 10,000 hours chess, but he's never a master on chess. But he also a master too. He's a master on writing. The way he practiced writing is when he was young, he don't have a lot of money to go to school to learn writing with the professional teachers. What he do is he buy magazine, right, and read all the magazine and know the meaning of the magazine. So he rewrite based on the meaning he understand. Basically use his own word and compare what's the difference with the professional editor and his own writing to figure out, oh, maybe this sentence is better, or this way to explain this point is better. After this kind of focus study practice, it make him become a master of writing. But without focus on chess, he never become a master on the chess area. The third one is work out your comfort zone. What is work out your comfort zone? For example, in the chess example, he always play with a friend. He never find a coach or somebody better than him to play, because it's just, he just try to having fun, have a little wine, just try to be happy. And another example said, I see lots of people who in America, they first language for them is English, but they will never become master at speaking communication because they only use the certain word they use. And their vocabulary is only limited on those words they're familiar with. They will never learn some words that they never use, right? That's the reason why lots of people speak every day, but they will never become the master on communication, master on writing, because they never really work out the comfort zone that use something they are not familiar with. The fourth one is feedback. Really interesting thing. Do you guys ever thought about this? Lots of, for example, Olympic athlete. They're Olympic. They're the best of best. But how can they still have a coach? For example, lots of athletes even break the world record, but why they still have a coach? The coach's job is not teaching them skills anymore. The coach's job is purely give them feedback. or I don't know, bothering them. Tiger Woods, when he played the golf, the coach on the side is just yelling at him, making noises, trying to distract him. That's coach's job, feedback. Or even in the book, I really like this example. It talks about a joker. He worked at a drama theater, he basically between two drama, he worked in the between. When you guys go bathroom, go buy snacks, he come out to tell some jokes to make people entertain people. But imagine in that situation, who will listen to him? Nobody. Those people just, go bathroom, go get snack. And he's really, frustrated about this because nobody laugh at my jokes and nobody like my jokes. For most people say, I just gonna quit. This is a boring job. I just gonna find something I like. But he don't. He used the deliberate practice. What he do is he go on New York street. Right, for him, imagine. Let's think we're the Joker, right? We'll go on Fifth Avenue. The way he practice, he have a timer, right? Right? He go on the street, he say, "Oh, hi brother, let me tell you a joke." And get out of here. He said, "Okay, 2 seconds." Right? 2 seconds. His job is 1 more second for the next time. His job is 1 more second next time. After days and months, he talk to people jokes on the street. Right? In the end, how good is him is whoever he see on the street in New York, in the downtown, he can tell them the joke, send them home, like go on the train with them and, okay, I'm gonna go home. Bye-bye, don't come in, to this level. That's how good he is. I think this example proved one thing to us at least. I may don't have a coach. I may cannot find the people who better than me to give me feedback. But we can use timer, we can use reaction, we can use, or for me, YouTube, there's a views, how many people like my video on which second. This will be the best coach for us. These 4 steps are deliberate practice. If you control, you will become genius. First, set a goal. Second, focus. Third, walk out your comfort zone. Fourth, feedback. I really hope you guys can, get inspired from all this story. Instead, just, all the professors or teachers or, your parents tell you, oh, working hard, you will get there, you will become successful. I hope it's a serious story to truly make you understand how powerful this practice are. And I really hope this story can go to lots of teachers' ear to let them know that all the kids have a potential to become a genius. Because I remember there is another theory called, self-prediction. It basically give a teacher 2 classes, and they random pick the class, but they tell the teacher, oh, class A are all genius, class B are mediocre people, because how I judge it is based on IQ. And in the end, teacher really make the genius class genius, make the mediocre class mediocre. So I just imagine if all the educators understand that after practice, everybody can become a genius, how many more great story, how many less bad story will happen. And thank you for listening. I hope to get your feedback, and I see you next time. Sharing knowledge is the virtue. It helps our society and the people around you. If you like this video, please share with the people who need this knowledge. If you care about them, then send this video to them that may potentially help them. Thank you so much.